Hello, and welcome back to In Case of Emergency. We had a fun time hanging out with Wes and Luke. Now we have to hang out with Cedric. I guess we don't have to, but you know, people like this kid. Oh, that looks loud on the levels. People like this kid, from what I've seen in the comments. All three people that say that they either like Cedric or like his route. This boy needs to prove himself to me still. You settle, you settle across from Cedric by the campfire, where he squatted on an overturned log. He absolutely feeds the flames with absently. That's what that says. I am reading. Feeds the flames with twigs. He pulls from the dry ground. You grab a handful of leaves, damp with condensation, and toss them into the fire, sending up a plume of smoke that makes you cough and hack. Right. Wet leaves equal smoke. I guess I forgot about that. They taught us that at overnight camp, remember? Did they? All I remember was being locked in this intense psychological warfare with a mosquito colony. You don't remember? After they told us about wet leaves causing smoke, you decided you were going to smoke the mosquitoes out of the campfire. Huh, that does sound like me. You roped me into it too, and we created so much smoke that the rangers thought there was a forest fire. The counselors made us give a presentation on fire safety after that. Hey, I wasn't trying to get us in trouble. The kid had an asthma attack. Shouldn't have had asthma. You have a... Sorry. Let me change the levels real quick. It's also loud in my earphones. I accidentally have my volume like twice as loud as I should be, but that's fine. That's fine. You have to admit, it does sound like you. Cedric flashes you a rare, familiar smile that makes you abruptly nostalgic. What happened to us? What do you mean? Nothing happened. We barely talked when we started college. It's been like 4 years since we've talked like this. Cedric sighs, staring into the crackling flames of the makeshift fire pit. I don't know. I've thought about it a lot, and, we were always pretty different, you know? You were loud and fun and a leader, and I was always just trying to keep up. Yeah, that's why we worked so well together. We balanced each other out. Cedric huffs out of his nose, a weak smile at the corner of his lips. We couldn't exist without the other. Didn't you ever wonder who we might be on our own? BFFs forever! Yeah! Never. I thought we were going to be Biffle... Wait, what? Biffles for life? BFFs? Biffles? What's Biffles? Biffles. I do not have my phone with me, and I'm not going to open up a tab on the browser, so we will just live with never knowing. Best friends for life? Yeah, well, I got my answer. We'd get old and play bingo and take out insulin shots together. What, insolence? Okay. Huh. It did seem like that, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Though, if I'm being honest, I was hoping you would contest that insulin bit. I don't know if I'll have the insurance to live with diabetes. Cedric almost smiles as he rolls his eyes. So, did you ever think about what we would be like on our own? Yeah, actually. I thought about it a lot towards the end of the school year. Of high school, yes. I thought college was going to be a fresh start for me. And it was. I found the secret world, and I met all these other people. I got to be my own person, and I liked who that person was. I realized I didn't want to go back to who I used to be. Who he used to be? With you? of which bond surrendered, yes, wait, sundered? Sundered, can be called more tragic than the one between brothers. It doesn't sting any less, but it has been 4 years. You can't deny that you've changed too. Besides, you have cool new friends and a purpose now. Sorry if I made things tense between us. I wasn't expecting you back in my life, and I felt like I was being pushed out of the one that I had to myself. I get it. I get it. It's fine. It's fine! There we go! It's fine. It's fine, man. I would have felt the same way. What happens now? I've been thinking, last night, when you told me to get rid of the Bosca sword, you were right. I had something in my life that was toxic, and no matter the nostalgia I had for it, I couldn't keep living with it. Maybe it's for the best that we keep our distance. I guess if that's what you want. Whatever works for you. I'm okay with whatever. If that's how you feel, then okay. Cedric nods once in affirmation. Yeah. You sit in silence and stare at the fire between you two. A summer camp feels like a long time ago, like a story you heard, rather than experience you lived. So, I should get back to preparing for the final leg of our journey. Good luck, Chiron. You can take a hint. You trudge away from the campfire, feeling its flames, looking at the back until the heat recedes. That is an odd way of phrasing that. Probably not incorrect, but yep. We're gonna talk to Remus. Chiron, it's good to see you here. Will you join me in scouting this cave? I could use an extra hand. Lead the way. You nod and fall into step behind him. Remus takes the lead, a cape fluttering behind him as he pads into the cave's entrance. Inside, the stone of the cavern walls radiate cold. The air is damp, and the smell of petrichors fills your nose. The stalagmite cast black spiral-like shadows that stretch across the floor, reaching for your feet, like you'd imagine the monster under your bed might. At least you're finally getting time with just the two of you. Whoa, are these crystals? Offshoots of the heart of the mountain center. You might compare them to veins or arteries. I knew that word. You've been here before? Yes, I have. Multiple times, in fact. His expression goes dark as he seems to recall something. I find that history has a tendency to repeat itself. Today, we'll use that fact to our advantage. Repeat itself? How long is the history of this place? The history of Peregrine? Very long, of course. There are centuries to it. He scratches his chin with a clawed finger as he mutters to himself. But relative to our own experience, it has been around an eternity. Plenty of time to grasp the cycles that cycles the world goes through. Cycles? Cycles has the beginning and the end of things. The world threatens to end, and we are to give it a new lease on life. That doesn't sound easy. Not at all. Remus opens his mouth to respond, but the walls begin to rumble around you. The shadows on the ground grow larger, reaching towards you until you realize they're not shadows at all. It's a void. Run! Remus pushes you forward with a hand on your back, ushering you down a corridor that winds deeper into the cave. This way. You feel the entire mountain sway back and forth as you leap over a strip of shadow, tendrils snaking across the floor. Your knees protest as you land with each step on the stone floor, forced to lift your feet as soon as you hit the surface. There's no time to catch your breath. A pebble bounces off of your forehead, then another. A cracked spider webs across the the ceiling above you, and you realize you have mere seconds before it collapses on top of you.
Hurry!
With a final burst of energy, you push yourself the only way you can go, forward, rounding a corner as you hear rocks striking the ground behind you. Shit! You dive for the earth, coughing as the dust rises around you in clouds. Your joints are scraped, your clothing is scuffed, and you're sure you've twisted your ankle at one point. It pulses painfully when you try to put your weight on it. But most importantly, you're alive. Behind you, a cave-in blocks your exit. At least there's no sign of void here.
Chiron, are you alright?
Remus's hand nestles between your shoulder blades. Hand nestles between your shoulder blades to steady you. Okay. I'm fine. I'm okay, thanks. Remus gently brushes the dust from your shirt.
Oh, we should attempt to get in touch with the rest of the group.
He says this, you can hear the sound of approaching voices and his footsteps. Hello?
Anyone there? Oh, we felt the ground shake. Is everything okay?
We're here. Can you hear us?
Chiron?
You hear multiple sets of footsteps, yes, running towards the caved-in wall.
We're on the other side of these rocks. There was a minor disturbance of some sort. We're trapped, but otherwise unharmed. Is everything okay? There's a bunch of void on the other side here. For the moment, it appears to be chasing us.
Oh, for a moment.
It is no longer on the move.
No, it's just big packets of it along the walls and ground.
What's going on? It's never been this bad before. We're getting close to its source. It would seem as though our appointment with the heart has been moved up. There should be another route that will take you to the center of the mountain. Take it, and we will meet you there. Will do. Chiron, are you okay?
I'm fine. You shake your throbbing ankle, thinking that might make it better. It doesn't, and it just makes you wince in pain. Just a weird ankle thing. I can walk it off. There's a pause from the other side of the rocks. You think they've left, but then a final voice comes through.
Stay safe, Chiron.
I'll try. I'll do my best. After a moment, you eventually hear the sound of footsteps receding behind the rock wall. Remus nods in your direction.
We should begin to move as well.
Remus takes the lead again, and you trudge beside him with your hands shoved into your pockets, favoring your good leg. Your heart is still racing from your close call. One paw goes anxiously to the sword that hangs from your hip to comfort. The cool metal of the pommel reassures you. Well, which is, with a sprained ankle and adrenaline pumping through your veins, at least you're off to a good start. The mountain is remarkably silent for the rest of the trek, but it still seems too risky to even touch anything. What if you set off something again, and then you're trapped down here forever? Without the sky above you, it's hard to measure the passage of time. The same softly glowing crystals and smooth, weathered walls of a rock pass you by every minute. You're not sure if you've been walking for 30 minutes or 30... You try not... I'm sorry, what did that say? 3 minutes or 30. That's just what that said. You try not to think about your conversation with Wes, but it keeps replaying in your head like a scene on loop. Did you say the right thing? Sometimes it feels like there's this distance between what you're trying to say, and what ends up being said, like a glass pane between you and the world. Wasn't somebody supposed to teach you how to be a functional person? Who dropped the ball there? Boy, do I have the book for you.
Huh. And that's how my brother tried to kill me. At any rate, I believe we should make a left here.
Wait, what?
Huh? Oh, I said that I had a brother. He was a twin, actually. Like you, he was a college man himself.
Right, but what about after that?
After university? I'm not sure, I'm not sure he ever left. He always had his head in his books. Not that I was very different. I suppose we were both dreamers in our own way.
No, I mean, what about him trying to kill you?
Oh, yes. He pushed me down an old well once. When we were young, I was lost down there for an entire day. It was quite terrible, really. Cold, damp, dark. I thought I was never find my way out. The opening felt miles away. Through it, I watched a tiny circle of blue sky transform into night, and I looked up at the stars and wished I could be anywhere else. In the end, however, my parents found me, pulled me up, and chastised me for being so careless. But I certainly don't begrudge my brother for his actions. I very likely would have done the same to him, given the opportunity.
Is he still around? Where is he now?
Somewhere far away, I imagine. I haven't spoken to him in ages.
Remus looks upwards in thought, and his expression is almost childlike in his reverie.
I don't think he would have enjoyed a life of royalty.
You're saying he didn't want to be a king?
Well, firstly, he never had the opportunity. Don't mistake me for a pure-blooded royal, Chiron. I earned this crown myself. I founded this land, I charted its maps, built its castles, and battled its monsters. Peregrim is very much a land of my own creation. I always suspected my brother was ashamed of my flights of fancy, but that is how it so often is with siblings. It can be difficult to get along, even with family, when one is so different.
You can attest to that. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that's how my sister feels about me. She's the responsible one, and I'm the less responsible one. You wonder what Kyrie's doing. Isn't her wedding coming up? You haven't talked to her all week. Weren't you supposed to help arrange catering or something? That's for the other Chiron to worry about, let's face it.
It can be a lonely life to be misunderstood. I had always hoped that Peregrim would be a haven for fellow misfits and dreamers first and foremost. A place for people like you and I.
I mean, we're doing the Wes route. I want to hang out with Wes. But he's like an older man. That is very hot. Okay. You reflect on some of the conversations you've had recently here, and quite honestly, you're not sure. Maybe, I don't know.
It is a rare gift you have, Chiron. Not everyone can claim to have a destiny like you do. Some of us are fortunate enough to have callings and passions. Yet, yes, but this is a world where your essence is vital to its continued existence. Can you say the same of anywhere else?
You think of this for a moment. It's true. There's nowhere else your disappearance would matter as much. A rumble from above interrupts your train of thought, reminding you that you're not out of danger quite yet.
Come on, let us make haste.
After what feels like another mile of walking, it becomes clear that your ankle isn't getting any better. It's starting to feel hot and swollen under your boots, and you're visibly limping now. Remus stops in his tracks when he notices.
Chiron, you're hurt.
I still don't know what these are. What? What? Oh, yeah, I am, yeah.
We should stop. I have bandages in my pack.
You try to protest, but Remus won't hear any of it.
As your king, I order you to rest.
That shouldn't be as hot as it is. No! Remus leads you to a large boulder where you reluctantly sit, shifting your weight onto one foot.
Take off your boots.
It doesn't take long for you to unstrap your footwear while Remus produces a roll of bandages from his pack. I feel like we're wasting time. It's not that big of a deal, really.
Then you okay. You underestimate your value.
Remus unfurls the bandages with practiced precision. With a few motions, he wraps the strip of fabric around the arch of your foot, pulling it taut with his hands. I don't feel very valuable like this. Remus chuckles as you swing your bandaged leg for emphasis.
Stay still.
You obediently stop moving, letting him wrap the bandage around the rest of your ankle. Have you done this before?
I've picked up many talents over the years. A little first aid is among the most mundane.
How does a king learn to do all this?
The same way he learns how to plant a garden, to manage the needs of an entire land, to greet the latest rounds of heroes to the realm. Time.
You're never sure if you're waiting for more time or less. Wanting? Is it wanting? Wanting, yes. I don't want to grow up. I wish I had more time before I had to grow up. I always feel like I'm going to get it wrong somehow.
Why is that?
I don't know. Actually, maybe that's the part I don't like. Not knowing what to do. It's so much easier here in Peregrim, because you get a sword and something to stab. Back home, everything is so much more complicated. Maybe if you were clever enough to know what you wanted, you wouldn't be whining. Remus finishes wrapping your ankle, and Remus finishes wrapping your ankle as leans back on his heels? Should that be an and? Let's say that should be an and I will also end the part here. So I will see you around, everyone.